From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael and the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips today.
Good morning. How's everybody out there?
Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Wake up.
I'm up.
Yeah, you're up. You're awfully quiet over there.
We didn't get to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Wrapping presents,
I know.
getting stuff. I got up early this morning, 7 o'clock. I had to be at Smith's over there. I had to get to all the stuff that I had to buy, all that BS and stuff like that. Then I had to get the peppers, run back and cook, and then come to this joint.
I guess there's a lot of cooking going on.
At
the mansion tonight.
Yeah. Today, actually.
wow.
Yeah, we got everybody coming over about 6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of folks out there are doing the same thing. You know,
Sure.
they're out there, they're doing their last minute shopping today.
Yeah, retailers love today.
I know, because a lot of them are open. Open. You know, it's amazing. The downtown Summerlin Mall has to be open every single day of the year.
Even tomorrow?
And if they're not, as far as I know, and if they're not, they get charged a $200 penalty for each hour that they're not open.
I have a funny feeling $200 is nothing if they decide to close in comparison to what they're normally paying to be there. So if someone chose last minute to close, I can't imagine $200 being a lot versus their rent.
I got to tell you something. There's not a hotel in Las Vegas that shuts down.
That's right.
All
That's
those
true.
stores, all those.
So they're being just like
that's true.
Yeah.
And,
That's a good point.
And who was I talking to? I was with some other place. I forgot where I was at. Oh, no, it was at CVS. And I said, well, I guess you're off tomorrow.
They said no.
She said, I've got to come in. The girl said, if I don't, I'm fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
They will fight because everybody was calling sick.
Right.
It was
Sure.
a restaurant. Wasn't it a restaurant or was it? It was a CVS?
Yeah, it was. I can't
PF
remember.
Chang's.
Oh, PF Chang's.
PF Chang's.
okay.
It was a restaurant.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
So their jobs are being threatened if they didn't come
Well,
in?
you can't. Well, because what happens
Because
is-
everybody would call in.
Yeah, that's true. That's when you hire staff
That's
of
one
Jewish
of
people.
That's one of the biggest days of
Jewish
the year,
part-timers.
though.
We'll all be there.
But
Chinese.
here's the thing. A lot of these
Chinese.
people don't pay time and a half.
Right.
They give straight time.
Right.
Am I right?
That's
The
true.
valet parkers at the Jockey Club, they get straight time.
Right. Well, they're also making tips, though.
Well, whatever happened to what the labor board says? Anything?
Well, you know,
I mean, what do you
don't
mean
know.
they don't pay time and a half?
I don't know. I know our company.
If they work over 8 hours, they're supposed to get time and a half, right?
Supposed to.
Yeah, our-
Absolutely.
Or they split it up between 2 8-hour shifts between somebody.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
But today's the day. I mean, for me, you know, I wait all year for today. I'm very, very excited. I'm a little exhausted, but I got a second wind. You know what I mean? I got a second wind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's always getting a second one.
You're in overdrive.
What's that?
You're in overdrive.
He never stops. He's like he's
The
definitely
Ever-Ready
like
Bunny.
the Ever-Ready Bunny.
Right.
Yep.
By the way, if you did want to round up the entire Jewish community tomorrow, just go to PF Chang's. They're all there.
Oh yeah,
That's
having
automatic.
Chinese food.
That's automatic.
Then a movie right after.
Well,
You
right
know,
after.
we were talking with a friend of ours the other day, Charles Wallert. Do you remember Michael the other day? And hello.
How's the family? I'm fine. I'm laughing.
Anyway, okay.
Anyway, it's
Have you
a
depicted a
good
movie?
holiday.
Have you decided to go to what movie to see Thursday?
Yeah, I want to see the Hunger Games because I missed that.
Because that's what we do on Christmas Day. We just go for Chinese food.
Chinese food in the movie.
That's the Jewish tradition.
and-
That
on
sounds like
Christmas Day.
fun.
Yeah, there's a couple of
that's
those.
busy.
I want to see The Gambler
Ooh, The Gambler.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, is that the new movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that too.
should be good. It's
Yeah.
going to be a
I
fun.
actually want to see Exodus.
Oh, that's that. I have to
What
see
the
that
hell
one
is
too.
It's
Is
sort
that
of
like about the Bible?
It's sort of like a remake almost of the Ten Commandments. Christian Bale plays Moses, and I don't know who the guy is that plays Pharaoh.
Some Egyptian.
Yeah, jeez.
It's Vegas Unwrapped early in the
That's
week.
right. That's right. Yeah, we're not doing a live show tomorrow, so we got to get it in today. So that's what I'd like to see. So, yeah, we are also taking tomorrow off. We're rerunning a previous show tomorrow, and then we're going to probably pre-record for the 1st of January. So,
Well, unfortunately, we'll be here.
when?
Tomorrow in the morning.
Tomorrow.
I thought you just said you're running a pre-recorded show tomorrow.
No.
See?
Oh,
See?
no? Okay.
Wow.
So you're going to be live in studio doing your job. Well, good for you.
Well,
I think I'll call in.
Yeah, let's call in tomorrow.
No call-ins
No
tomorrow.
call-ins
We don't
tomorrow.
want
No, 'cause you're doing. I heard you doing music tomorrow, so that's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I think it would be nice for, you know, we have so many people that are on the show, you know, and it would be nice because, you know, you play a little Sandy's music at the end and Santa Baby and some of her numbers. But this way here, you got, you know, I would say let's do 30 minutes of, you know, talking and, you know, and whatever that Santa Claus brought me, which I got tarugats, which I got nothing for Christmas. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't give a rat's ass. But the bottom line is that the last 30 minutes is music, because this is really a talk show. But people listen in,
Right.
you know, and it's nice to hear these different kind of songs that she sings, you know, and it gives an opportunity for people to say, oh, you know, all those numbers. So that was, I think it's a nice idea. And then we're all going to go to the Temple Bet Shalom and have a bagel.
For your potato latkes.
And have a bagel.
You know,
There you go.
I want to comment on something that went on here on your show yesterday. You were talking about, you know, people that used to give just little gifts on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and they were gifts that usually contained cookies or, you know, just some little something to eat and stuff like that. And you said that that's kind of disappeared. You know, you don't see much of it anymore. I couldn't agree with you more, because every place that I've ever worked with, or even just the family members, and even though it was Christmas, because everybody was baking, we always had little boxes of cookies
Baked
that were
goods.
given, stuff like that. And, you know, I miss that stuff too. I couldn't agree
Well, it
with
cracks me up because my Uncle Frank, you know, he was a materialistic guy. You go in and say, Uncle Frank, we bought my Uncle Frank a beautiful shirt. And then he gave us our gift. You know what I mean? Go, oh, a bottle of Old Spice. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Or High Karate. Remember High Karate?
High
love
Karate.
that stuff.
Wow.
So yesterday we had what was his name again, Sandy? The guy, the producer, the record promoter.
You mean the gentleman I was talking about a few minutes ago, or trying to, Charles Wallert?
No good deed goes unpunished. fellas.
Singer's producer. That's who he was.
Right.
It was a couple days ago.
We
yeah.
talked about Italian food, and I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, I've been in Vegas since '74. The guy was the real deal, because I mentioned a few names of people that own the place, and a lot of people in Vegas say, "Oh, I know that. He's a personal friend of mine." They don't know. They don't know the rest from you know.
Yeah, right.
But the bottom line is, this guy knew the names of the people that I worked for.
And my gosh, they knew a lot of people in common.
A lot of
these
people.
Two. Oh,
And,
yeah.
I'm going to fly back, and I got to go see my mother. I have to go see that old woman before God takes her home. And I figured the end of January, just get in a plane, because I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars in dinners. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Believe me, I spent a fortune of money. I just need to go to the airport, get a plane ticket, and go back and see her and put her in my arms one more time. You know, and I think
Maybe a few more times.
Well, you know, she's 85
You
years
know,
old.
you can't. You know, you've been talking about taking this trip for about the last 3 months, Michael. You
I
really
know.
got to do it.
Yeah, I know, and I think I'm just going to go and
Well,
just spend a couple days, just a few days. I can't
Well,
spend a long
you know
time.
how it is when people don't want to leave their homes. You know, as they get older. I noticed that.
Yeah,
You know,
I can
and that's
relate
the way
to
his
that.
mom is. 85 years old, and she doesn't want to get on a plane and come out here. So we got to go back there.
Right.
And my mother loved my cooking. My mother, because like I said, the story about the spoon. My mother loved. When I went back, my mother wanted me to make the mussels marinara sauce for her and the crabs and macaroni. She's 85. And it's a great honor for me, because that's why I made my mother happy, singing, telling jokes. You know what I mean? Because ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. All these jokes that I tell, 90% came from my mother. My mother was a great performer. I'm serious.
You don't want to
because
imagine that, do you?
No,
Her
that's what I'm
telling
just
the
thinking
jokes.
about
I
some
think
of the
it'd be a
jokes.
little different.
My
yeah.
mother was great. I mean, I was
Just
a kid.
thinking about that.
And it was called the Blue Records. And my mother, and she
Right.
would say, don't tell your father, but listen to Bella Barth. You know what I mean? Listen to Sophie Tucker. I mean, they were some great
They were.
comedians. These
Right.
people were funny. They were funny people. They were actually funny people. And I would listen, not see it was a little gray, the stuff that they said, but as a young man at the age of 12 and 13 and 10 years old, I'd listen to those albums. You know what I mean? That people would listen to, and they were funny things. Bella Barth to me was the best. I loved her.
She was the Lenny Bruce of the female comedians.
And everything they said was like, "Rat bastard, this rat bastard." And you got to be Yiddish to appreciate
Absolutely.
that, because I tell that joke about the lady from New York, coming to California.
That's-
A lot of people don't laugh when I say that, because they don't understand the humor
Right.
that's behind. You have to be an East Coast person with Jewish faith to
You
understand.
could say East Coast Jew. That's fine.
Well,
Or you could
I
say
don't-
Italian, because we all grew up in the same way. I mean, I thought I was Italian until I was 12.
I was told I was Italian until I got out of high school.
Yeah, I really believed it.
So I talked with my hands like Italians.
Yeah,
Jews and Italians.
Well, that's how I learned to swim.
Well, I was in the schmata business, and
the schmata business.
that's a mixture, and there's a lot of
absolutely.
Italians in the business.
Absolutely.
And, you really couldn't tell the difference. I
Right.
mean, everybody was the same, I mean, and
Absolutely.
that's the way life is, I think.
When
We're
you grew-
all one people.
When
Hello?
you grew up
That's
in
right.
a New York neighborhood or a Philly neighborhood, the criteria for friendship was, could you play ball?
That's right.
Yeah,
It wasn't
had nothing
anything
to do
about
with
black,
anything
white, or
else.
red.
You play half ball?
Well, no, Phil. That's a half. We played stickball, but not the way with you would cut. I'll tell you, those Italians in Philly, they used to cut a good Spalding in half and then play this.
Spalding, you remember the
Come
name?
on,
The little pink
Yeah, cut that
Spalding ball.
Or yeah,
They were
tennis
big,
ball?
cut
too,
it in
the
half,
big
and then
ones,
they
right.
play this
No, they were
game
small.
called
No, it was
half
a
ball.
little small one.
They were white.
Well,
They were
had
white.
Spalding,
Well, there was also a
baseballs,
pink.
too.
There was a
They
pink
had
one too. Remember the
yeah.
pinky balls where you couldn't find the
Yeah.
Spalding?
My
This
mother-
must have been before my time
You're a
because they
little-
were big white baseballs when I saw
Oh, they still
Spalding.
make the baseballs, but
I
these were
cut
like
them up.
Okay.
these would almost be like the balls you'd find at the
And
end
then
of the
you
powder
cut
ball
off a
with the
mop, or
East
you
Coast
cut off
balls.
a
Right, East
big
Coast
broom,
balls.
and you'd have these bats.
Well,
and-
tied to a
Well, do you
string,
know
so-
why they did that?
Their mother's string.
Because in Philadelphia, there's 3 stories. And the streets, Sandy came back with me, the streets are very small.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking
As a
about...
matter of fact, that's what you guys have in common too. Is Italians, Jewish
We got
guys.
the streets are
It's
small.
the mother's,
right.
yeah,
And if you-
mother's apron strings.
If you hit the first window, it was a single. The second window was a double. The third window was a triple. And if you hit it over the roof, it was a home run. And the reason why the ball was cut in half because you never broke a window because they were soft. So when you hit the ball, it
It was like a Nerf.
right exactly. Now
Right.
stick ball's different because once you whack that ball, that thing went.
Well,
Right.
see, we played it in the schoolyard. So if you hit the first floor as a single, second floor as a double, third. If you hit it up on the roof, that was their home run.
Do you remember Buck, the game Buck? You put a big guy like Aaron against the wall, and we put our head down, and we come around the waist, and then you get behind me, and then another guy gets behind you. It's
sure.
a line. He goes, "See, Buck, number one's
That's
coming,"
and
and
they
you
jump
run.
on-
Yeah, you
jump
remember
on
that?
on the back.
You jump and
We-
you go like this, trying to break the.
Only the name of the game in Brooklyn was Johnny on the Pony.
Oh, I never. What do
Yeah.
you call a fire plug? You call a fire plug or a
No,
Johnny pump?
We called it a hydrant, fire hydrant.
Did you ever go under it?
No.
You never.
Oh, what you mean when we opened them
When we
up?
were kids,
we used to
yeah.
open them up.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's when we
Oh, that
went.
was great.
There was no swimming pools.
We wonder
went
why
under the
Cash
plug.
has a record nowadays.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
No, hey, those were good times. You couldn't beat it. You grew up and you were allowed to stay out until it was dark.
Better be home before the streetlights were on.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Once those streetlights were on, you had to be back in your house.
I believed until I was 8 that my name was Jesus Christ.
I know you told me that.
Oh my gosh, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And I think it's Boys' Day today. So hurry back. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
I've been making my list all year long. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me.
One more day to Christmas. I can't believe it. What's in that little box?
Interviews, more recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hello and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Chef Michael.
Hello.
There you go. Instead of Chef Michael.
That's a nice thing. That's
There,
a nice
you like
change.
that? Chef Michael. Anyway, we're also here with the Vegas Under Wrap team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. And it's Boys' Day today. What about the boys? What do the boys do for the holidays? What are some of the
We go
top
to
10 things that they do?
We go to a strip club. And for
That's
those,
all year long, isn't it?
Well, no, just for that. And then many people like
Just for what?
Aaron Phillips. And,
Just for what?
Well, they just
the
go
music.
there for music.
No, he said just
the
for what?
music,
He said
right.
just
We
for
go for the
that.
music.
And Aaron Phillips said to me and Ricky Cash, said, let's go shoot pool. And they went to the ranch, Chicken Ranch, because they got a pool table
Got a
up
pool
there.
table there.
Now, seriously, boys. Okay, what what are some of the things that you do during the holidays that you don't do throughout the rest of the year?
Cheat on your wife.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, Michael!
Having fun. I'm just having fun.
Absolutely. Well, for me, my daughters came home from college last week, so I've got my daughters running around the house, and they were busy cooking, and I'm going to have my dad over for dinner tonight with his significant other.
Uh-huh.
And tomorrow, we weren't joking, tomorrow, the day of Christmas for us, is literally a day of Chinese food because all the regular restaurants are going to be packed with everybody celebrating Christmas. So we go to
Right.
Chinese, and then we literally go to a movie. And not that that's uncommon, but to do them as a planned family tradition on Christmas Day.
That's right.
That's what me, and I know Cash is going to do it. I know he's running away for the night with Cammie, I think, which is their tradition, and that's really what we do. I mean, for us, I hate to minimize it, but Christmas Day is really just another day on the calendar for us.
Do you remember when it was that there was a big change in our who came in for the holidays? Do you remember what year it was and who it was that it was instrumental in doing that? In filling up the hotels and the casinos during
No.
the holidays.
No.
Do you know?
I'm going to take.
Come on, you guys are the Vegas Unwrapped team.
That's really a great question.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Well, I'm asking you. You don't know?
No, not really.
Okay, it was Steve Wynn.
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Wynn, and what he did is because traditionally throughout, the history
Right.
of Las Vegas, a Christmas time was the deadest time of year
No question
here
about
in the
that.
casinos. Okay, and what Steve Wynn did, he brought in the Asian culture for the holidays because they're not celebrating a holiday then.
Right.
They wait until their New Year's is
Right.
in January.
Right.
So what they did, so all of a sudden he started bringing in, like junkets. Remember junkets of
Sure.
the old days, but I don't know if they called them junkets,
Sure.
but he started bringing in the Asian culture. And as a matter of fact, what about the MGM? Remember what was changed on the front of the entrance of the MGM?
Well, they changed the lion.
And why did they do that?
I always thought it was because they didn't like the fact that it was like gold and shiny. They wanted to make it different.
It's because it's not good feng shui to walk in the mouth of a lion. And the mouth was open.
How about
okay?
that? That makes sense.
So, Vegas Unwrapped team.
We learned
I just
something
got
today.
you.
Wow,
That's
wow,
right.
That is
good.
great stuff.
Yeah.
And December now is actually one of the busiest times of the year.
It's really busy.
Because of the holidays, but then you have the
Rodeo at the
stuff
beginning.
that comes in and being for 2
That's
weeks.
right.
Then New Year's and Christmas, we get about 150,000 people in town just for New Year's.
By
you
New
said
Year's
and
is
Christmas, but yeah,
Well,
New
but
Year's,
most of
New
the
Year's
years
is
was
even
always
more,
a big
Aaron.
day.
Right.
But it was that Christmas period. It was that
Right.
2-week period
Right.
that now is booming. Maybe not booming like it is, other times of the year, but it is full.
Well, so far
and you're right. The rodeo.
Right.
Do you know what year that
20
started?
years now.
About 20
Is
years.
it 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and
'Cause there
that
was-
is an entire week.
Right.
Right.
2 weeks.
10 days.
2 weeks.
Well, the events are about a week, but they started a week before that where they bring in all the exhibits and you can go to the convention center
And
and
you know
buy
what
all
else
the
they
stuff.
do? Do you know what else they do at the shows?
This,
No?
This is good stuff.
Okay, what they do
taking
is
notes?
they create new shows for that week. They actually change up their regular shows and will create new things. They'll and even I don't know, but every place is
Right.
different. But that was also a different
Okay.
thing where that period of time,
Right.
the shows would actually change up their acts.
Well, I know
Nice.
they bring in
To gear
a
to
lot
the
of
crowd.
they
Right.
bring in a lot of the country western singers.
Right.
Right.
They bring in the comedians, the cable guy, and
Larry the Cable Guy.
and
Get her
Jeff
done.
Foxworthy. They bring in a lot of those
You
people
must
and
be a
they fill
redneck.
up the shows.
But it's even more so. It's the regular shows. Like now, I don't know with Cirque du Soleil shows, Cirque shows, but before, they would take a regular, even all the lounge shows would do it actually a totally different
Oh,
show
wow.
that time
Okay.
during that period of time. So
Very cool.
yeah,
That's good.
so there's a lot of things that go on in the holidays that don't go on throughout the
Right.
rest of the year.
Absolutely. There's no question this town dresses itself up appropriately for anything that goes on around the world, not just Vegas or the country, but it dresses itself up very nicely for the year.
Yeah, in January, like I said, that's the Chinese New Year.
Right. So you have
And they
that.
do a
We
lot
have
here. Yeah.
CES coming in January.
Right.
So
huge,
January.
huge. Is that
Huge
still the
stuff.
largest show?
Pretty much
I believe
so.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. CES, and then that'll be followed by
AVN.
that's usually concurrent. But the National Broadcasters
What's
Association, the Adult Video
Adult Video,
Awards.
that's right.
That comes
And
right
you
at
know-
the end of
CES.
Yeah.
And they actually moved that because it used to be the exact same week,
Correct.
and then they backed it up a
They
little
had
bit.
to because it was so big.
Well, not only that,
But they didn't want to coincide with CES.
there were some there were some challenges dealing with all that, and they didn't want it to be at the same time.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So
I
Vegas,
remember.
Vegas.
They wanted it. Here it comes. They wanted
Fascism.
They wanted to keep the CES right.
Right.
They want to keep their people with their heads on straight.
Okay.
Jeez.
Right?
Brumpum, I guess. I don't know. Chef
Couldn't even
Michael,
get a
you're being
smile
awfully
out of
quiet over
Mike.
there.
Wow.
Chef Michael, you came to town in what, 1974, you said?
1947, I came.
1974. So in 1974, what do you remember about Las Vegas that is totally different now?
That's when Vegas used to be Las Vegas. And when I say
Well,
that,
and what do you mean?
Well, because it was, first of all, my shift at the Sahara was from 12 to 6 in the morning, from 12, you know what I mean? And we did like 4 shows. Any place you went, Vegas, first of all, was open. It was swinging. I mean, when I say swinging, my kind of music swinging. Okay? The Lounge Acts were Freddie Bell, the Vagabonds. You had, I mean, the list, the Treniers. I mean, everywhere you went. First place I ever performed was the Marina Hotel. I played Shipwreck Kelly's in the Marina. But Vegas was wonderful because when you went out, you were dressed to the nines.
That's right.
When Kmart came to Las Vegas,
1980.
that was it. When I look out and I see the people that are out there today, how they dress, that's your audiences. You could have never got into Caesar's Palace dressed like that. You could have walked in the front door. There's, excuse you, delivery, back door.
Right. You know the Michaels over in Barbary Coast? Remember that restaurant?
Oh, that was
wonderful restaurant.
That was the
Well, it was
restaurant.
the elite restaurant, and it really was built for the whales. You know, the big time gamblers that would come into town. And you had it was in Barbary Coast, which is like, you know, was it not really a fancy hotel. It was a dressed down casual kind of hotel, and you would actually get some of the locals in that hotel. And the Michaels was just for the elite. And then all of a sudden they opened it up, and then it had to be a suit or a tuxedo or a jacket. Every male had to wear a jacket. Women would dress up. And then the 80s happened. And what happened is everybody was, going out during the day, and they had shorts and flip-flops and all this stuff and T-shirts. And so gradually, they allowed the gentlemen not to have a sport coat on, and they came, and then they started coming. And it's sad, but they came in shorts.
I don't want
to look at people's
fine
knees
dining
when I'm eating.
Yeah, there was a place
Fine dining.
called Silver City that was owned by Major Riddle.
Silver City.
Not Silver Slipper.
No, I know Silver City. I love the Silver Slipper. That was adorable.
And there was a local place. No, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, the listeners out there. No casino wanted the local people. They didn't want them.
No. They
wanted the tourists. They didn't want the local people. So this guy, Major Riddle, had Stephanie Lopes. He was the secretary who became the entertainment director. You understand? And they would put acts in like Johnny J. I love Johnny J. Johnny J used to wear a toupee, and he never glued it. And he would bend down and take a bow.
Flop forward.
He was, and Wild Bill. They had some great, little lounge acts. And there used to be $1.99 from 12 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning, steak and eggs, ham and eggs.
Oh, yeah.
99 cents.
That Mr. Size
we
Fun
all
Book.
would get the 99-cent breakfast, in
and
the morning.
buffets, Sandy, were $4.95 for a buffet.
I know. And it was everything you could eat.
Oh, my God in heaven. So, like I said, when you talk about the 70s, and I was very fortunate to catch the end of that era, but you got to understand some folks, changes always change. And unfortunately, Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin, everybody's gone. You know what they got today that they're giving $200,000 a night to? DJs. This cracks my ass. Disc jockeys. These guys go. I mean, what the hell?
And they're selling bottles of champagne and stuff for like $1,500, $2,000. You have to pay to sit at a table to come, and the line is out the door.
Spin records. Spin records. What talent do these guys got?
It's a different era.
They have no talent.
All these changes took place when Vegas became more corporate. From the previous, well, we'll say it as it is, the alleged mob influence of Vegas.
Well, even Howard Hughes,
Howard Hughes too, right?
And then after Howard Hughes was all the Holiday Inns and the whole corporate, like the hotels came in, and it was so different because remember, people could sit. I mean, I grew up here since 1963,
sure,
and I worked in the hotel since 1970. When did I work? The first one. 77 or something like that. I was working at the Four Queens, and I was doing that midnight till 6 in the morning shift. And we had the band played, and it was above the bar, and you had the bar, and everybody'd sit down there. Everybody's out, gambling, and you had the casino further out, and we had 45 minutes on and 15 minutes off, for 6 hours, and but what they would do is we got a caller. Oh, Paul. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Hi, Sandy. How you doing?
Good.
Mikey!
Hey, Gabaroon! You can see one Jaguar. You ready for tonight?
Yes, I'm all ready.
Let me tell you the menu, Paulie.
I'm excited.
I know. Here's the menu. I went to go look for the bacala. I was disappointed. It's so... I don't know, Paul. I'm a little disappointed.
I don't like bacala.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Mellodore wanted me to make bacala, but I got to tell you something. I went to Smith's. I got lobsters. I got We only got about 2 people coming.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Just
2 plus
Times
28.
500.
So
2
any-
plus 28.
So anyway, we got. George doesn't eat the lobster, so I got lobsters. I'm making the fried Diablo sauce with the macaroni, linguine white clam sauce. I'm making the galamad with the red sauce.
Galamad.
You know, with the macaroni. And George loves the meatballs. I bought 20 pounds of ground meat. I made how many, Sandy? 110 meatballs. Meatballs, roasted peppers, chicken. Fried the chicken cutlets, because I know you love my chicken
I
cutlets.
love those cutlets.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be a phenomenal night. We're so excited. You know, Sandy and I went to bed at 4 o'clock this morning. She's wrapping presents. We looked at each other. She said, Mike, I'm beat. I'm tired.
I said, don't forget, we have to be up for the radio show in the morning.
You know, I said, I got to be at Smith's at 7 picking up those lobsters because they came in. But
I
anyway.
know.
What about tomorrow morning? You going to do the show tomorrow?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to do the show tomorrow, but we're going to do a half-hour show.
And then
the
we're going to
last-
go over to Diana and Dr. Perry's,
Right.
Pascal's, and we are going to have breakfast over there.
Right, I'm going to sponge. I'm going to
Brunch.
sponge a meal off of these people.
Yeah, we're so excited.
So I'll bring a cheap bottle of wine so they don't talk about me.
Hey,
And
hey,
I'll go
hey.
in.
You brought a lot of memories
I'm
back
bringing
to me
champagne.
then.
Hey, you sound like his mom.
What's that? What memories, Paulie?
But the stickball, that was my favorite thing to do when I was a kid.
Well, where you from, Paulie?
Jersey City.
Jersey City. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't know who this guy is, believe it or not, way before I met Sandy. Sandy wasn't even born at that time, but Paulie Appella was my best man at my wedding, and we sat at the Marina Hotel, and he looked. Remember that, Paul? It's 50 cents a drink.
Yeah, I remember.
And I said, and Paulie looked at me and said, Mike, are you sure? He said, are you sure you want to do this? I said, yeah. And I had an apartment, and I says, you know, if a few people, I got married to Little Chapel of the West. I says, you know,
I remember that.
if a few people show up, I'll be happy. You know, just a handful.
I remember that apartment on Sierra Vista.
Right. You couldn't get in the joint. The place was packed. And Frank Braglia, who I still work for to this very day, you know what I mean? He stood for my mother and father, you know, because my mom and dad didn't come out for that, you know, particular stuff because she was Irish and, you know, forget about it.
You know, the best man always asks that question. Are you sure
Yeah.
you want to do this?
Are you
sure
sure?
you
You're
wanna do
sure?
this?
Now, I'm
You're
not sure whether he's asking because if you don't do it, he wants to jump in.
You know, the best
or
man
he's
always
just
asks
trying to look out for you.
Right.
the bride too, the potential bride.
What year was that, Mike?
I got married
The fiancé.
in 1980.
Was it 80?
Yes, 19. But hold on, Paulie, don't hang up because Sandy has a very important thing. She's going to go to a commercial, then come back.
That's
and
right,
bring
Paulie.
back. So don't hang up, Paul.
right, I'll hold.
Stay on the line, and we're going to come back with these 2 Jew bastards.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And we'll be right back after a brief pause from our sponsors.
The sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Chef Michael.
Yes, good morning to you.
It's a boys' day.
You know,
you've still got Paulie
I got
on the line.
Paulie on the line.
And
You
I
know-
know we've got the guys here ready to give their secret, unwrapped treasure.
Paul, I want you to listen very closely to what these 2 guys got to say because these guys got juice.
Well, good morning, everybody. We're actually doing something a little bit different today because there's not much going on outside the next couple of days because of the holidays and
Right.
Christmas. So we're going to kind of do something like we did for Thanksgiving and share some interesting Christmas facts that perhaps people are not aware of. So
Good.
I'll start it off.
Shoot.
All right. Did you know that Norwegian scientists have hypothesized that Rudolph's red nose is probably the result of a parasitic infection of his respiratory system? Did you know that?
No.
Well, now you do.
Now, if you took all the gifts in the 12 days of Christmas, it would equal 364 gifts.
There you go. Did you know that each year more than 3 billion Christmas cards are sent in the U.S. alone? It's a lot of postage.
It's really ridiculous.
A lot of licking, too, one of them.
That's right.
All right, let's
We don't lick stamps anymore.
Let's get the official
Envelopes,
date. It's 350 A.D. Pope Julius I, Bishop of Rome, proclaimed December 25th as the official celebration date for the birth of Christ.
I got one sports related for you. It has nothing to do with this list.
I like it.
But the Syracuse Orangemen have a basketball player. His name is Hakeem Christmas.
Yes, I know.
From, I think, in Nigeria. And you know what his number is? 25. Absolutely.
Gotta love that.
According to the Guinness World Records, the tallest Christmas tree ever cut was a 221-foot Douglas fir that was displayed in 1950 at the Northgate Shopping Center up in Seattle.
Well, if you're talking about the largest Christmas tree, I'll tell you the world's largest Christmas stocking.
Okay.
Wow.
Measured 106 feet and 9 inches long and 49 feet and 1 inch wide.
What was it made of?
It weighed as much as 5 reindeer and held almost 1,000 presents. It was made by the Children's Society in London in December of 2007.
Do you know what it was made of?
A very heavy cloth, I would imagine.
I'd hate to see the foot that goes in that sock.
Really?
Christmas trees have been sold in the U.S. since 1850, and Christmas trees usually grow for about 15 years before they're actually cut down and sold. That's a lot, 15 years.
You know, the British wear paper crowns while they eat Christmas dinner. This was absolutely wild when I first saw it. The crowns are stored in a tube called a Christmas cracker.
Well, you can go to Burger King and get a crown, too. You didn't have to wait. Alabama was the first state in the United States to officially recognize Christmas in 1836. You were there when they did that, weren't you?
I was reporting on that.
Yes, I know you were.
I was also there when Oklahoma was the last U.S. state to declare Christmas a legal holiday in 1907.
Wow.
That's right. So okay, never mind. I had a thought going through about the South actually being the first and the last.
Yeah, baby.
Mistletoe, commonly known as Viscum alberne, is from the Anglo-Saxon word mistletoe, which means little dung twig, because the plant spreads through bird droppings. How's that for mistletoe?
Wow.
Didn't know that, did you?
I'm not standing under that
No
anymore.
more mistletoe standings.
Stop
All right,
eating it.
here comes my last one.
All right.
God.
Because they viewed Christmas as a decadent Catholic holiday, our good friends, the Puritans in America, banned all Christmas celebration from 1659 to 1681 with a penalty of 5 shillings for each offense. Some Puritan leaders condemned those who favored Christmas as enemies of the Christian religion.
Wow.
How do you fight over Christmas?
It's been done for years.
Yeah, really.
I know that.
Last but not least, it is estimated that the single White Christmas by Irving Berlin is the best-selling single of all time with over 100 million sales worldwide. And that does it for this edition of Unwrapping Little Christmas Facts that you may not have
And
known.
I think I saw that there's been over 500 recordings of that song.
I think that is correct.
By different artists.
By different artists, different versions.
Yeah.
I saw that same stat. You are correct.
Vegas Unwrapped is very, very brilliant. They know a lot of
Thank
stuff.
you, Ricky Cash
Yes,
and Aaron
as
Phillips.
always.
Yay! Woo!
I'm going to share this with you, Sandy, so that you can
Yeah,
have it.
on the Facebook.
And I think you'll enjoy this one.
Yes, sir.
But you give that to Diane, right? So she
Yeah,
can post
I'll send it up to her.
yes.
What did the rug say to the Christmas tree?
I've got you covered.
What do you think?
Get off
You're
me.
stepping on my toes?
No, your
Get
balls
off.
are hanging.
You Yes.
Listen, Polly, you still hanging on
dong.
there? Speaking of hanging, you still hanging on there?
Paul, you're one great.
So,
So, Paul,
I'm done. Call me later.
Paulie, so what's some of your quick memories that
Every once in a while I
that
come
you
over.
remember as a kid? You know what I mean? Share with the 90,000 people that listen to this radio show every day. What's some of the memories, real quick, that you have? Because we got so many people on the line that want to get in. So, what's
I
some of yours?
loved hanging out with the guys on the block.
Yeah.
But stickball was my absolute favorite. But we didn't play half ball. Never even crossed our mind to cut the ball in half.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was one solid ball, the pink one, the Spalding. It was 25 cents, and you threw it on one bounce.
Yep.
You
what's
got
this
one
thing with
strike.
hitting balls? I mean, there's golf balls, there's baseballs, there's, basketballs. I mean, why? What are all the games with balls? I don't
Nothing
get
like a
it.
stickball game.
I know,
No, the kids don't. Nowadays, they're all on the iPhone.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Everybody's playing, and they're playing basketball on iPhone. They're
Well,
iPhones,
Paulie,
yeah.
we thank you for calling in. We love you. We thank you.
I
gotta
just
ask
wanna say
Paulie
one
one
more
Go ahead,
thing.
hurry up. Go ahead.
Paulie, one last question. Did you play Scully?
With the bottle cap?
You bet.
Yeah.
Well, I play
With
spin the
bottle
bottle.
cap. What is that with
You
bottle
made
caps?
you made a square on the sidewalk
Okay.
with chalk, and
Okay.
you put a corners and a center thing, and you had to go from one with a with
Oh,
a.
this is where you
with-
flipped 'em?
No, you had to hit them with your
Flung
thumb.
it with your
flip.
finger.
You had to flip them into each box until you got to the middle.
Oh.
And that was a game that was, we turned it into a nice profit playing that game.
Well, you guys
Wow.
are Jews, of course.
Well,
You know, what about marbles? I mean, I remember, playing marbles.
I remember as a kid with marbles, but we played like
That was
a thing
after
called
Scully.
chink. You know what I mean?
Chink.
Where we would bang the ball against the, we would put two,
What about
three
pickup
guys.
sticks? Pickup sticks.
No, not.
See, I played the girly game.
That's a girly game.
Anyway.
That's a
That's
girly
like
game.
hopscotch.
Thank you,
Hopscotch.
Paulie, for calling
That's
in.
cool. We'll see you tonight,
We'll
Paul.
see you tonight.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
Okay,
buddy.
great. Have
Guess
a great
who's
day
on-
doing that last minute shopping.
Guess who's on the line, Sandy?
Who
He
is
dropped
on the
us like
line?
a bad habit. He's
Yeah, I
big
know. I
time
haven't
now,
heard
big
from him,
money.
since he
forgot us.
I know. Now he's got a job.
He's got
a
a
paying
job, a paying job. And ladies and gentlemen, it gives me no pleasure to introduce this next guy who we love, John
Styles. Doing it with Styles. Hey, John.
Hello.
What?
Oh,
Hey, I couldn't let this day go by without wishing you all a Merry Christmas.
Dago. What the hell?
Thank you.
You just called me a Dago? He just called me a Dago.
Well, he slips them in when he
Well, you
can.
call him a
Michael.
cross-dresser.
Well, and that's funny because I'm out shopping for an evening gown for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I know. We got a call about you trying to go get those shoes, though.
Yeah, well,
I know. Well, where else can you find a pair of 16 Triple E 6-inch pumps?
Where?
I mean, only in Las Vegas.
That's true.
And Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood.
This is
That's
about
very
Hollywood. Your mother.
But now that I have a job, I don't have to come over and eat at your house all the time, Michael.
Well, John, let me tell you something.
But
Sandy and I,
you're still welcome to come and eat at our
always.
house.
Sandy and I want
I
to wish.
know.
Sandy and I want to wish you, and I mean this, Johnny, a very, very warm-hearted Christmas. You've done a wonderful job for us, and your friendship was.
Warm-hearted Christmas.
This friggin' broad's driving me nuts. But
Yeah, well, it goes both ways. Anyway, so John, you are doing your last minute shopping today?
Yes, I am.
All right, what are you getting me?
I haven't decided yet. There's a 12-carat pear shape that I saw you were looking at, but I'm not sure that that's enough. So, and it's hard competing with somebody like Michael and all the bucks he's got, so.
that's a bunch
It's
of
not
BS.
about-
I'm so broke I can't pay attention.
John, it would not be your place to get me a ring. You know that.
I know you want to,
But
John.
She's high
maintenance.
diamonds,
She's
if
high
you want to get
maintenance,
me
John.
some diamonds, loose
Loose
diamonds,
cut, right.
that I can have set into something, I mean, I wouldn't mind that,
Sandy, it wasn't a ring, they were earrings.
Oh, earrings. Oh, great.
Well, John,
Well,
we
anyway,
love you.
Michael,
and-
Michael surprised me with
right.
some earrings
I
for
bought
Christmas
Sandy
already.
a beautiful effect.
But they weren't pear-shaped.
This
They were ovals.
right. Like
Or actually
listen,
round.
it wasn't the apple in the tree that destroyed the world. It was the pear on the floor. Anyway,
Was that those hanging balls? Anyway, so John, have a wonderful day. Happy Merry Christmas and happy
You too.
holidays.
Merry Christmas and happy Hanukkah.
See you,
to
JPEG.
all
thank you, JPEG. Yeah, you red bastard.
Thank you.
See you, brother.
Bye.
Trader.
of- And we'll see you around
Trade
the
it.
campus.
Okay.
Michael.
All right. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends for a Variety Show with Chef Michael and, of course, the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips.
I love
We'll be
these
right
guys.
back.
If I was a rich man, Shabadi gobble gobble like you cookie
Baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby. So hurry down the chimney.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends for a Variety Show.
You
with
don't wanna know what we were
Chef
talking
Michael.
about.
And you don't want to know what we were talking about. No, actually, Aaron, you just had a procedure done.
Yes, I did,
You know,
yesterday.
and you've talked about it on the radio show.
I know I have.
At extent, extended. At what? Nauseum?
Ad
No,
nauseam.
Is that it? No.
I've had this
But-
thing.
Those are the
but, you know,
Facebook posts.
The thing of it
That's
is, we all have different health issues coming up throughout our lives, and it's important. I just want to say, we went over to visit Debbie last night.
My friend
right, your
Debbie
really
Vega.
good friend Debbie, and
45 years.
he's known her for so long. She's been a big part of his family, and we saw the bad dogs.
She got 2 grandsons. In Italian, malamenda means bad. I call them bad dogs. Bad dogs.
They are so cute.
Bad.
They are so cute.
Bad,
2
they're
boys,
bad dogs.
but they are bad.
They're
They
bad
run around
dogs.
and run around and run around. Anyway, so we were there and we were visiting, but. Debbie, I think, she had told Michael that she was having some trouble with her hip, and she was having a hard time standing up and stuff, and having a hard time walking up the stairs, to go to bed. So she's been sleeping on the chair. And, we were over there last night, and I got to tell you, she's in a lot of pain. And I said, you really need to get to the doctor. Okay, you've got to go get that x-rayed. Don't let some of these things drag on and on and on, because you don't know. You got to take care of them. You did, Aaron.
I've been battling this since September, and one of the reasons, and one of the reasons it's taken so long to even get to this point,
insurance,
because it's taken so long for approvals and this
but
and that.
Sometimes you can't wait. I had a friend a long time ago, and he was the brother of one of the drag racers that I knew from a previous life, and he had back problems. He had, something, his back was bothering him, and he put it, it wasn't that he put it off, but the insurance, he would go to one doctor, and he had to wait to go to another doctor, had to wait to go to another doctor. Well, after a while, he just kept getting put off and put off and put off. By the time, it was almost a year before he finally found out that he had cancer in his back.
Jeez.
And by that time, it was too late, and they lost him. So I'm just going to say,
get checked.
I'm saying this to everyone who's listening, please, because we love you. I mean, we love everybody. I mean, may not like everybody, but we love everybody. And the thing of it is health is so important. And sometimes we let things go on and drag on a little too far. Don't do that. Please do not do that. If that is the one resolution, New Year's resolution that you're going to put on your list, please start now by taking care of your health, because our body is our temple. Our body is our temple. Whatever we put in, we get the results of it at some point in our lifetime. So, exercise, staying fit and fabulous forever. The reason I promote that is that whatever stage of our lives we are in, whatever shape, size, color, creed, doesn't matter. It's important to stay as healthy as we can, doing the best that we can with the body that we have, and honoring our temple, because whatever we do to it, sometimes you can't go back.
Right.
Okay.
Something I like to say too is, since it's Christmas Eve, all right, for those that has a neighbor that you don't talk to, a family member that you got pissed off about a long time ago, do yourself a favor, pick up the phone and just say, hey, Merry Christmas. There was a guy that helped me years ago, and we want to become bitter enemies. And I sent him a text, and I said, I want to thank you for all the kindness that you showed me at the lowest time of my life. And he wrote back, he says, who's this? I don't know who I'm talking to. I said, well, if your name is such and such,
then this message is for you. That's right.
You got to do the right thing.
And it doesn't matter if they respond.
It don't do it for yourself.
Or if they want to argue or do it, keep it up. It's very important, like what you said. Sometimes, and it's, I've got something going on with somebody, with a relative right now, and it's very challenging, and it's heartbreaking for me because like I said, I love you. I may not like your actions sometimes, and they may hurt me. I may be affected by them, but that doesn't mean I don't love you.
That's true.
And so sometimes picking up the phone and taking that step, it at least lets them know, even if they're still not ready to talk to you, that they're loved, and that let's let bygones be bygones, and
it may never be the same again.
It may never be the same, and that's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay, because you had all these good times and good life together, maybe at another time in your life.
And if you got
what do you think?
And I think you're right, Sandy, because what happens is people today, and you get somebody that they want to pay, you give them a crack, smack them.
And you know what
rather
else?
than give them a backhand.
And you know what else? The things that have you ever seen somebody and they're stewing and that, oh, that guy, he did this, and oh, that guy, he did that, and oh, he did this and did that and did that. And that guy over there having a good time. And what are you doing?
You're
sitting there,
energy.
you're stewing, and you're stuffing, and you're angry, and it's all coming out. And so, all this stuff affects your health. Right. It really does.
And do you know what's funny?
Take care of yourselves.
I won't eat nothing tonight.
Oh, you will too.
I'll pick on
You know
something.
why?
Because I cooked
I'm
it.
fixing you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Guess what? That's my Christmas Eve. You know, my Christmas Eve is watching everybody really
you'll
eat
eat
and
it.
enjoy themselves. But it's funny, Sandy, I'll tell you, every time I cook, I just have no desire to eat because I made it. You know, but this was my day, and because for the Italian people, today is Christmas.
Bacala.
What's that?
I can't believe I'm going to have something I've never had before. Bacala.
Bacala. I'm gonna go
and
get it
hopefully
right
some
now.
baklava. But you know, I mean, I really do love baklava. For anybody out there who's listening, I love baklava. Anyway, but bacala I get to have for the first time, and you're doing the lobster dish, and you're doing all these wonderful
Linguine
seafood
white
dishes,
clam sauce,
plus
lobster
your
Diablo sauce,
traditional meatballs,
meatballs,
which everybody
chicken
loves.
with the roasted
And you
peppers.
know, we were with some people the other night, and they
Calamari.
were talking about how they met Chef Michael Alexienko.
Yeah.
We were at the West Wing Cigar Lounge, and Michael came up to Alex, and he said, "Hey, let me get you something to eat." And he goes, "Oh, I'm not really hungry. I'm sitting here smoking my cigar, whatever." And he went back and he brought him out some meatballs and
the
some
roasted
peppers and the
peppers, yeah.
roasted peppers.
That was
And
it.
Alex said, "Oh my gosh, I love this." He says,
Which was nice. You know, it's a nice thing that, like I said to Cindy, if I died, something happened, people would talk about the cooking. That's exactly. And I got to say something real quick. You guys did a lot of stuff with us this year.
I know.
My God, you guys
What a
were
great
in
year
every
we're having.
function we did, dinners,
Yeah.
parties, the house.
Good stuff.
And I want to thank you both, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. You absolutely did a phenomenal job. And I believe in my heart the way we became the #1 radio show in Las Vegas, through the grace of God, we'll have the #1 television show in Las Vegas.
There
We're,
you
we're
go.
honored to be part of it, and thank you for the opportunity. I mean,
Exciting.
our show next week for the first, we're going to kind of do a recap year for us.
Oh.
Yeah,
and
review. I'm
he's
working on
working up on awards.
We're
and
gonna
stuff.
we're gonna have awards. We have categories, and
just to kind of recap.
I want a
our
trophy.
year.
you might find yourself in one or two of those
At least.
categories. By the way,
Thank you.
in the Christmas spirit, you always heard what is Christmas? It's peace on earth and goodwill towards man.
That's right.
And the goodwill towards man, really, that's the one. I want people to treat each other all year long the way they try to treat each other during this Christmas
There you go.
season.
Yes.
And
So
I
important.
think that's such a big deal because
Yeah.
everybody tries to be a little nicer at this time of year.
No matter what,
Time
no
of
matter
year.
what religion,
Why don't we
belief,
why don't we
or
just do
spiritual
it year
beliefs,
round?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all about spreading the goodwill.
Well,
Right,
Santa
Aaron?
Claus is coming, you kids. For you kids out there listening, tonight's the big night. I'm so excited.
Jingle,
Santa
jingle,
Claus
jingle,
is coming. He's
Jingle
coming.
bells, jingle bells, jingle
Jingle
all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle bells,
jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse
open
open
sleigh.
sleigh.
It doesn't do the snow.
Okay,
in a
guys,
one-horse
we'll
open
see you this
sleigh.
afternoon
Oh,
on
the button,
YouTube. Shut up already. Anyway,
God
this
in
is
heaven,
Sandy
shoot
Kastel
me.
and Friends with Chef Michael and the Vegas Unwrap team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. We'll see you again tomorrow morning here on Christmas Day on KLAV. Bye.
Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby.
If it sizzles, crackles, and has a rich aroma,